This is Bonnie, the Nerdy Magpie. I hope you've had a wonderful week. I've had a good week and a very sad week. But we'll get into that in a few minutes. I want to talk today about what I stitched on, how I store my fabric, a few of my finishes, and my plans going forward. So this week's been a very sad week for me. If you recall, on my last video, I showed you my little dog Flossie and that she was going to have babies. And she passed away, unfortunately. I cried and cried and cried. She was my constant companion, and she had one little boy puppy, and we've been feeding him around the clock on demand. So I haven't got a lot of stitching in. He was born Saturday by a C-section, and I'm just devastated. He's a sweet little puppy, though, and he's very strong, and he cries, and we just keep him on us all the time to keep his temperature up. And I looked up a really good formula for him on different websites, and the one that they suggested, it's worked very well for him. We call him Little Squirt because every time we go to clean him, he just goes to the bathroom like crazy. And so if you don't have that wet one on him, you're going to be soaked. So he's really sweet, and when he gets a little older, I'll show you all. I'll put a video at the end of him. I'll have my husband put a video at the end of him, and I think he was a little early, but he's, like I said, he's very strong, and I was trying to see how I could keep him warm, and he just kept wiggling everywhere. And so I thought of a diaper, and he's so little that I got out a little diaper that I had laying around, and I wrapped him up in that, and then we wrapped him in a blanket, and he keeps really toasty warm, and I carry him in a pouch wherever I go. But if I move any certain way, he starts crying, and he wants to nurse on his bottle and stuff. So it's around the clock care, but I think I know it's going to be worth it. He's going to be staying with us forever, and just pray that he'll keep growing strong. And every time I go to reach for Flossie, she's gone, and I can't believe she's gone. But enough of the sadness. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I've stitched this week, where everything was crazy. And let's look at the whips. So this is my first one. This is March. As you can see, I got this done here. I finished up this and this. And I've changed all the colors because it was just really dark and I didn't like it. And I think this is turning out really pretty. I will see if my husband can't put in a clip of where I was last week and compared to this week. So there's March. I'm almost done with it, and then I'll be going, well, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. I also stitched a lot further on. Let me see if I can get something behind here. I stitched much further on this. This is Stitching Autumn by the Twin Peaks Primitive. And I just have the rest of the spool and the little end of the spool. And then there's another little girl right here. But I went ahead and I switched out the hat. I didn't like her as a witch, so I made her like a little cap. And I changed the color, and then the little legs here, I changed the color. And her feet were just straight down, and so I added a stitch and a stitch here for her to look like she's standing. And I'll do the same for her little sister over here. I guess it's her sister, or they might be friends, but I think it's a little sister because she's only this big. So there's that, and I'll show you the picture of it so you'll know. So I just have the rest of this and then this little girl here, and I'll be finished. This is, I really, really like it. Okay. And then I did UFO my enchanted forest. I've been working on that one for about 3 years, and it's a lot. I did a lot on it, but as I was going further and further, I was off again. And so I had to cut off, there was a row of trees, and I had to cut off that very end of the trees. I probably will finish it eventually. Even if I don't finish it all the way, I could do the little motifs of the animals and things, and they're really sweet. And I was thinking maybe I could put them on a project bag or something. So I'm going to use it somehow, but right now it's in the UFO bin, and I will eventually get what I need to get done. Also so I'm cutting my losses. That's it. I'm done. There probably is going to be a couple more that I'm going to cut my losses on that I don't know. I'm just having a hard time finishing up the rest of my whips. They're the ones that have the least amount of stitches on them, and some of them I just not feeling it anymore, and I want to do something new. So I'll have to look at my whips. There might be some that'll go in the UFO bin, and that's okay. I have a box over here, and next week we'll see what's in the box. But I'm going to put fully kitted pieces in there, and that way I can, when I feel like stitching on them again, they'll be in the box and I can get them out. But for right now, I'm just tired of, I've finished, let's see here. I think when I'm done with March and this one, I think I've finished 11 projects this year. I'm pretty sure. So I've done a lot. I've finished up a lot. I, UFO'd, like I said, Enchanted Forest. And then let's see here. What was the other one? Oh, I can't remember. But anyways, Let Freedom Ring. Now that one's not coming out to play anytime soon. So I have that one put away. The other thing I need to do is I need to get a new printer. So my husband took it apart and he was putting it back together, and he got busy with a baby puppy, and our little dog named Whimsy Blue, she's a Chinese crested, she snuck over there and ate the connector cable to shut the lid on the printer, and so now it just has to be trashed. So I've got to get another all-in-one printer. I use Markup RXP, and so I scan in my patterns, and so I've got to get me a printer that'll scan in the pattern and will print out nice and everything like that. We spend so much money on printers, and they just don't seem to last. I don't know if the quality is not good anymore, what the issue is, but it's just irritating because we just had bought that printer back in October, I think, and we paid a lot of money for it. And it quit printing. It said that it was a known problem that the sensors went out. And my husband, for a living, when we were younger, he repaired computers and printers and things like that. So he looked through it and everything, and he did a couple of things, and it was going to work until Whimsy decided to have her a feast on my thing. So anyways, that's going to be a priority this week, is to find a printer. I am going to be starting, so I'm finishing up, so my whips I'm finishing up March, and then I'm going to be starting and stitching on them, And then I'm going to be starting April, and then I will only have May and June left after April. So I'm getting done with those quickly. And then I'm going to be I've decided to do Christmas at Hawthorne Hollow. And I wanted to do it for a fair entry next August, but I'm not going to be done in time. It's a big one, but I seen a lady doing it and just as beautiful, and I have it. I've been meaning to do the Hawthorne Hollows, and so I might have to do it. I'll probably get it done, and then I will have it framed and everything, and then probably in 2 years I'll put it in the fair. Hopefully, if I don't get sick of it. I don't think I will, but because I've done one block of stitching, no, autumn at Hawthorne Hollow, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping that I will like this one too. I will show you the colors and everything that's going to go. It took me all day yesterday to get the colors done. So here is Christmas at Hawthorne Hollow, and it's carols. So here is the bird. I hope this is not too reflective. Let me get it out so y'all can see it. I haven't seen very many people do this one, but this lady did it, and it was just gorgeous. So I heard the bells on Christmas Day, and then here's a house one. Let's see here. Their old familiar carols play, mild and sweet. Their words repeat. Peace on earth, goodwill to men. And then it says here, I heard a bird sing in December, a magical thing and sweet to remember. And this is to my friends. When I am gone, I leave for them to look upon. Remember that I wrote the same. From herein you will find my name. And I thought that was sweet. So I'm going to put my name here. And so I really liked it. It's 60 colors. No, I didn't substitute. I'm going to do everything they say this time unless I really don't like it. But here's all the colors. I went through and made sure that they were a good length, and that good thing I have several collections of DMC. And so there's that. And then here's my, if you remember, I take I thread a needle for each color. So that took me a long time yesterday, but here they all are. So they're all ready to go, all threaded. And the only thing that's stopping me at this point is that I don't have the printer. So I've got to get the printer to scan it in. Okay, I was going to show you how I do my fabric. I measured out. I have these cards here, and I tell what it is, what kind it is, what count it is, the size, and what color. And it's just something my daughter dyed for me, and I think it looks like a gray winter sky. So I think it's going to be really pretty. And I put them in these bags, and then we hang them up with baby hangers. And that way I can just go through and flip through and look and see what size I have. And then I just put this away. I just take out everything I have here, and I really should probably laminate those and laminate this and put the information, and then when I'm done, then I can erase it, and that's a good idea. That just came to me. And then I don't have to waste all kinds of money on paper and stuff. But anyways, here is the color. So it's going to be a big piece. And then here is, so I think that's going to be really pretty together. All these colors on there. So I'm excited about that. And I was looking for a Christmas bag, but I ran across this bag that I have. I have several bags, and this was given to me at a retreat, and I absolutely love it. And the lady gave me, along with this bag, when I went to the retreat, that was 2 years ago, she also gifted me some more material that goes along with this. But this is the inside of the bag. And then here's the outside, and this is the steampunk birds. See the iron, the buttons. If you look, there's an oil can. It's just so cute. I love it. And she gave me some. I think there's the material for October or for Halloween, and maybe for Christmas. I can't remember. I have it put up in my material. I need to make project bags out of it, but she did a wonderful job on that. And I think I'm going to put I'll go ahead and do it. I'm going to put my Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow in here. So this will be its official bag. I know I probably should have a Christmas bag, and I've got plenty of them, but I like this bag. It's kind of funky. So here we are in that. And then let's go on to my plans. So my plans are, I'm going to be gridding the fabric for that today, because I do that with my, I do it with friction pins, but I've also done it with Crayola washable markers, and it always comes out. I've had people say, oh, it's chemicals you're putting on your material. Well, you use chemicals and stuff when you wash it. You use chemicals when you dye it. I mean, there's chemicals all the time on your patterns, and I have used the iron on it. I have no problems. I also make a special spray on my material when I'm done stitching it, and I'm going to put it up, and it is a homemade formula for, I think it's that Best Press that they have at quilt shops, and it gets out all the wrinkles and everything. So I haven't ever had a problem. So I'm going to grid that fabric. I'm going to look for a printer so I can start the Hawk Run Hollow. I'm going to finish this March pattern, and I'm going to start April. Then I'm going to finish stitching autumn. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I was thinking of, instead of stitching, when I'm done with stitching autumn, I'm thinking of starting this one, which I love. It's Welcome. It says Welcome. And it's from the Cricket collection. I just fell in love with it, with the chickens and everything. I thought this would be cute in my front, in my living room. So I'm thinking of either starting this or starting on the animal crackers. I have this all kitted up. I was going to put it on this material here. But I will have to see. Here's the bag I made. I just love it. Here's the inside. And I like my bags kind of floppy. I don't like them real stiff. But anyways, I'm thinking of either doing this one or putting this in the fully finished, or in the box, or doing the animal crackers. Or I have one by Cricket Collection that says eggs, fresh eggs. I thought of doing that one too. If you want to comment below and tell me which one you think I should do, let me know. I love to do the animal crackers because I'd like to finish them into like where my grandbabies can, if they come and play with them, and I don't mind. So I'll make it more like a stuffy, and they can play with them. I'm not going to be picky about it, and I want to put them in a dough bowl in my front entryway for them. So I'm not sure what to start. Also, I want to fully finish my Christmas at Tiny Town because I'm going to go into haul now. Because I seen a lady, and I can't remember who it is, but she had the Tiny Town fully finished, and then she got this thing, and I think it's such a neat idea. It's called a turning table. and it's wireless, and it turns, let's see, you can either do a battery, here's the battery, or it can be wireless. You have a USB cable here. And she just had it sitting on there, and it was turning all the way around, and I just thought that was the neatest thing. This wasn't expensive at all. It was like, I think it was like $15 maybe, which I didn't think was bad, especially when I could, use it at Christmas on my entry table and things. And so I really want to do a fully finish on that one. If you all know of anybody who does a instruction, maybe they have a free video on how to fully finish those tiny towns into a drum. I've never done that before, and I would like to do that and get that done, and then I would like to start stitching on some more of the tiny towns, because I have all of them except for the nativity one, and I need to get that one. So that was my haul, and then I got, I didn't bring up my phone. I seen somebody was doing a piece by Twin Peak Primitives, and it's called, I forgot what it's called, but it has the all men are created equal, the Abraham and Lincoln stitch, and it was so beautiful. So I got that. I was enabled to do that, and I really like that. And then, so that's all I got in haul. So I'm going to be talking about what I'm going to do. My plans I already went into. I'm going to be doing the June Magazine Monthly Challenge. That I was going to recommend two people. One is, I just happened upon her channel, and I really like how she does things, and she's the one that enabled me for the Christmas at Hawthorne Hollow. She's doing the first block, and it's just beautiful. But her name is Hexagon Stitches, and she's from Brisbane, Australia. And the reason I like her is her videos are shorter, but also she has a variety of beautiful stitches. And she also does show some quilting things, which I've kind of gotten into. I haven't started any quilt thing. I'm waiting for, that was another thing I bought from Fat Quarter Shop. I bought the beginner quilt. And I did that because I've never quilted before, and it comes with everything you need for the quilt, plus beginner videos. And I learn by watching and doing. That's how I learn. And so I'd rather watch a video and do it myself than to go to a quilting guild or anything like that, because it makes me really, really nervous. I have very high anxiety. So that's what I'm going to do there. And so I was really pleased to see her, the Hexagon Stitches, because she's got some neat little quilt pieces that she does. So I will be doing the Magazine Monthly. She said that's how she gets a lot of her pieces done, and she participates in that, and it holds her accountable. I've done Whip Go before. I've done the Springo and the Bingo and, Bringo and all that. But I just have a really hard time stitching and then posting a picture and then remembering to post the finished picture. It's just a whole deal. So the Magazine Monthly Challenge, you just set your goal for the month, and then you fill it with you try to match it with a cross stitch. And so I'm going to do mostly the Christmas at Hawthorne Hollow, trying to get 100 stitches in. So I'm going to be doing that. I don't think I have my paper that shows. No, because I don't have a printer. So anyways, this is the third time that I've posted what I want to do, because I finished it so fast that it wasn't, so I had to make up a new acrostic. So anyways, so that's why I came up with Christmas at Hawthorne Hollow. That's going to hold me accountable to finish my goals for the week and for the month. Also, I wanted to recommend Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. I know everybody probably's heard of her before, but I was watching somebody, and they had finished a piece of theirs, and they said they had watched her do a fully finished piece on how to frame your own. And so I went on there last night and watched it, and she was really, it was very informative. And because I don't have the money to go to these Hobby Lobby or any of those and frame things. And my husband has framed things for my mom's, like I made her the names of God, and he framed that, but I want it to look more professionally done. And Elizabeth Ann Ken Stitch shows how she does it, and her stuff looks wonderful. So she also shows how to fully finish different things and how to make project bags. And she's just really informative. I've looked at the Von Pfeiffer ones, and those are pretty good too. But I like Elizabeth Ann Ken Stitch. The way she explains everything is just real easy. And so, anyways, I want to do that. I don't think she's showed how to do a drum. Maybe Von Pfeiffer has, but that I'm going to try that. And I think that's what I'm going to do this week is just work on the different things I have here. Make sure I fill out my I made this myself, these covers. I used the paper from Hobby Lobby, and then I laminated it, and then I have the punch that goes on these rings. So anyways, for us, we're very patriotic, but I'm going to work on my stuff, and then every day I work on it, I give myself a sticker. I love stickers, and I've got a ton of them. So that's what I do there. And so I've also got to, another thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make a page with my project details. This is how I keep track of what I've gotten done. But I got this off of a shop on Etsy a long time ago, and I really like it. And then I have a little photo printer I do. It makes it into like a sticker, and I'm going to stick a piece here. So I know what the piece is, and you know it. It also is on the back here. It shows, here, I'll get this out of here. So this is a really nice thing. It's got, I think I've showed this before, it's got stitching memories, what days you did, how many days you worked on it, if it was full coverage or not, your progress, whether it's kitted or not, how many thread, you know, so you have everything here to look at a glance. If you UFO'd it or whatever. So I really like this lady's way of doing it, and so I needed to print out that paper. I'm sorry, I got out of the screen. So I got to print off that paper and then make sure I have everything ready. Oh, I had one more piece of haul. So I'm going to have you guys help me hold accountable. But I seen this, and it's 100 envelopes. Might have seen this before. And it's a challenge tracker. And for a whole year or however you want to do it, you put back money from $100 down to $1. And so my husband and I will be married 35 years next year, and we decided that we were going to do this. And I went and put all papers from 1 to 100 in a jar, and he only gets paid once a month, so we're going to do 4. So it'll probably end up being like a year and a half that we'll get this done. But so he pulled out 2 pieces, I pulled out 2 pieces, and then we're going to stuff the envelopes here. So I want you guys to hold us accountable, because we'd really like to we've never been on a honeymoon, really. We were real young when we got married, and he was working, and so we just went for like 2 days somewhere, but it was no big deal. And then we had kids right away, and we just have never gone away for our anniversary. So we would like to do that. And when you're done with this, you'll have saved $5,050, and that should give us a nice honeymoon thing. So I thought this was really neat to save money. I told my husband, I said, no touching. Even if you feel like touching it, you're not going to touch it. So we're starting to save this month, and it'll probably, we talked about going down to Savannah. We went when our kids were little, about 12 years ago. Yeah, 12 years ago. We went to Savannah in October. That was so neat. We like things like historical houses and graveyards and going on ghost tours and stuff like that. My husband and I said, where would you like to go? And he said, I'd really like to go back to Savannah. That was so much fun. And so I think that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to go in October, because if you go down to Savannah anytime before October, it is so hot. I mean, it's pretty warm in October, but it's bearable. And then we'll go over to Tybee Island. And we only spent a day there 11 years ago, and that was so much fun. So we would like to do all that. And so we're trying to do that. So that was part of my haul this week. But anyways, I hope you all have a good day and rest of the week, and I hope you get a lot of stitching done. And I'll see you next time. Remember to like, subscribe, and recommend my channel if you would like to. So I will put in a video, or have my husband put a video of Flossie's little boy. We're calling him Wyatt, and that means survivor and strong, a strong survivor. So that's going to be his name. Okay, well, goodbye.